If you ever get tired of frying, grilling meat, then this recipe is definitely for you. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Mansa Queen, and in today's recipe, I am going to be sharing with you how I make my delicious, spicy lamb and potato soup, or you might call it a stew because it's a little thicker. But yeah, we are just going to be using wholesome ingredients, very simple, no oil, absolutely, therefore making it very healthy. You can always adjust the spice to your liking, so it does not have to be as spicy as mine. So without wasting much of your time, let's get right into the video. If this is your first time here, sit back, relax, and let's make this delicious meal with Mansa. To make our lamb sauce, we definitely gonna need some lamb. This is my fresh lamb shanks. These are actually leg of lamb, and it's been pre-cut already, nice and thick. It still got some fat on it, which is good because remember, we're not using any oil, so all of that fat is gonna render, and it would add a lot of flavor to our dish. So this is what I'm using today, and these are the ingredients that I'm going to be blending today. I have some cloves of garlic. Garlic just elevates the flavors in most of my cooking. And I also have one whole red onion. I just cut it in the middle. And then I have 2 hot habanero peppers to taste. Now this is purely optional. As I mentioned, you don't have to add that heat. And I also have almost full green bell pepper. So I've already chopped them up roughly. I'm going to throw them into my blender and just add a splash of water to help my blades to go. This is what we're going to be using to season and start the cooking process for the lamb. It's going to infuse a lot of natural flavors into the meat. Now, to my pot, I'm going to be adding my lamb. I have not added anything to this lamb, absolutely. So just fresh and clean. To that, I'm going to be adding my blended ingredients. Like I said, this is how I like to start off cooking my meats. And this process right here gives that meat that natural flavor. It allows it to release its own natural flavors. And all we adding is that boost of blended ingredients, which are all just vegetables and spices. So after that, I'm going to add some salt to taste. You can use any type of salt. I also like to go in with my Knorr beef flavored bouillon. It is really, really delicious in this type of meal because I'm using meat. So yeah, I like to go with this one. You can use a chicken seasoning or just salt. I also like to go in with some ginger. I did not have fresh ginger, so I'm just going in with a little bit of the ground ginger. If you have fresh ginger, I definitely recommend that. I always like to go with fresh herbs and spices in my food because that way you don't have to use a whole lot of seasoning. Everything is going to be all natural and really delicious. So cover the pot and do not add any water at this point. Let it come to a boil on its own. And here it is. It has come to a boil. You can see that the lamb has released and rendered its own natural juices. This is what is going to ensure that really good seasoning penetrates into that meat. So yeah, at this point we can now add water. You want to add enough water to cook the amount of meat that you're cooking. So I can't really tell you how much water you would add. So just you can maybe add a little at a time. But yeah, it has come to a boil again. And guys, I can smell all the natural spices, but we're gonna add one secret ingredient, which is my pepper soup spice. This right here is a blend of natural spices. It contains nutmeg, it contains black peppercorns, different types of peppers, and all these spices are roasted and ground into this really delicious and fragrant spice. It's called pepper soup spice. Now I got mine from Nigeria. My husband's family sent it over, but you can get it off of Amazon or any African store, any international food store that sells African products would sell it. But I have a link in the description box. I just found one on Amazon. I have put it in the description box in case you're interested. You can just go ahead and click on the description and the link will be there. Okay, so we're also going to be adding some potatoes. These are just regular potatoes, Irish potatoes. I cut them up, and I'm also going to be using some carrots. And for garnishing at the end, I will be adding some assorted peppers. I got red, yellow, and green bell peppers. Now, my meat has been cooking for quite a while now, so you just want to check it and make sure that it's tender. I like mine to be so tender, not falling off the bone, but really tender. You can easily bite it, and you want that broth to be nice and thick at the end. You can actually make it lighter, like I mentioned, make it more like a soup, but I like mine a little bit more on the thicker side because I take this more as a stew. So at this point, my meat is done. I'm going to add in my potatoes because potatoes don't take anything more than 5 to 8 minutes to get cooked, really. And also you would notice that I cut them into smaller pieces. So now 5 minutes after I put in the potatoes, I'm going to go in. They're almost pretty much done. I'm going in with the diced carrots. Now these cook faster, so I did not add them together with the potatoes because I don't want to overcook them and have them get it all mushy in my food. So yeah, I'm putting in my diced carrots, and now to finish it all off, I would go in and add my assorted peppers. Guys, the fragrance right now in my kitchen is divine, amazing. These peppers add a pop of color and also bring in their own flavors and fragrance to this lamb stew. Very delicious. Now once we add that, we're just gonna let it simmer on very low heat for about an additional 2 minutes, and we would add one last ingredient and we would be done. Now don't you mind, it might look like it's really light right now, but believe me, once it cools down, it's going to be really thick. So you want to make sure you leave as much broth as possible. This meal right here will warm up your heart anytime you're not feeling good, you're feeling under the weather, or you just want to have that good spicy kick. Now my final ingredient, we're going to be going to the garden in the backyard and harvest some fresh basil. Guys, this is the finishing tip, the secret ingredient. Well, the other secret ingredient, the first being the peppers of spice. You need to add some fresh basil leaves into your lamb stew at the very end when you're about to just turn off that stove, and believe me, it's gonna make all that difference. You can use the dry basil if you don't have it, but I strongly recommend the fresh basil. You can even get it at Walmart, or most grocery stores will carry it in their produce section. Now I just took them off the stems and just added the leaves into my lamb stew. As you can see, the broth is getting thicker. Now once I throw that in, I turn it off and we are done. This is a final product. I just turn off the stove. Our meat is nice and tender. This right here is a very healthy and really delicious meal. Not a lot of seasoning needed over here. You just need good quality meat. By the way, you can use beef, you could use chicken, you could use goat meat. Basically any meat of your choice would go perfectly with this meal. It is so delicious. You can see that it's really tender, not falling off the bone, but really tender. You could bite into it so easily. It is full of natural ingredients, and that is what I so love about it. Healthy, no oil needed over here. Thank you so much for joining me today. To my returning subscribers, I want to thank you guys so much, because without you, there would be no Mansa Queen. And to my Muslim friends, subscribers, and family, a happy Eid to you all. Stay safe with your families, and I love you all so much. Thanks for watching. Bye.